Ed Mehl, yeoman second class, from 53 to 61. Through the mid, we were all over the place. I mean, Greece, Italy. We didn't get to Gibraltar. And down in the Red Sea, we went to a place called Mehl, but an old open farm. And what we used to, it was funny because we didn't know the operation, but we would pull into Mehl, and here would come some kid with these great big 55-pound blocks of ice on a wagon. And what we would do is we would take 10 trash cans over on the pier, chop the ice up, and we had maybe 20 cases of beer. And we'd ice the beer down, and we'd had to play 2 softball games. The first division would play second division, operations would play engineering department. After the softball games, the duty yeoman would stand there with a clipboard, and everybody got 3 beers. And you'd stand there with your clipboard and check off everybody get the 3 beers. And in 133 degree weather, 3 beers got you just as high as if you drank a case. And it was fun. We had a lot of fun. We tied up in Mehl. Aden was a port just at the end of the Red Sea, just before the Persian Gulf. That was British. Matter of fact, the British would invite us, some of us, to the air base, and they treated us, you know, they couldn't understand how we didn't like hot beer, but the British don't ice their beer. So, but we had a lot of fun. We went aboard their air station, and we had some of them come aboard our place. We had one time we were in Italy. We had some young kid come up, wanted to tour the ship, and I typed him up a letter. He went down to Fleet Landing. They took him out and gave him a tour of the ship. So it was a lot of fun. Matter of fact, we were one of the first convoys to go through the Suez Canal after the conflict. There were still ships with the masts sticking up out of the water as we went through the Suez Canal. And that was an interesting, one side of the Suez Canal had grass and houses and real nice, and you go on the other side of the ship and all you saw was desert. So it was quite a contrast going through that, and that was an experience too. We saw the Russians quite a few times playing chicken, and then one of the funny experiences I remember when we were in the Red Sea Patrol, the commercial ships were supposed to answer to a military ship what they were hauling, where they were, and where they came from. And it was on a Sunday. The crew was laying out on a fantail on their blankets, sunning themselves. It was a day off. There was a young ensign up on the bridge. This Russian ship went by, didn't answer our question. The captain come up on the bridge, and he told him what happened. Well, the captain kicked it into flank speed, made a U-turn. When he did, the stern went down in the water, blankets got washed over, almost washed half the crew overboard, and we chased this Russian tanker down. We caught up to him. We had all the gun mounts facing, with the guy actually standing there holding a 40mm clip ready to put in the gun. And the Russians were all standing there with big eyes waving hi to us. So it was an experience, and they did answer us after that as to where they were going and what they were having aboard. But that was one of the funny things with the Russian fleet. Well, we didn't see, when we were doing the task group Bravo, we didn't see any of the Russians. Most of the time, the only time we really saw the Russians were when we were over in the Mehl. Over here, of course we made Naples, Taranto, Palma. So we made 3 stops in Italy, and the Italians. And one of the reasons they may have treated us nice is I used to hang around with a young man from Philadelphia, gunner's mate, second class from Philadelphia, who spoke Italian. So Sammy and I would go into a restaurant, and Sammy would start talking Italian, and you would look around, and our plate was about this big, and the other people, their plate was like this. But Sammy would talk Italian to them, and they just loved to hear somebody talk their native language. and so they enjoyed that type of experience. I think the Italians treated us the best while we were over there. So I got along good. Hanging with Sammy was a lot of fun.